1, 2, 3, go.
Hello.
1, 2. Hello.
And welcome to Needles at the Ready. I'm Kevin.
I'm Ray.
And
Got distracted.
Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024. And this is episode 111 of our YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing. And I think that's it today.
Yeah, there's no yarn buying. What?
None.
No
new
new
yarns.
acquisitions.
Good job.
Yeah. High five.
And then we'll talk about what we've been reading and watching at the end. So, hope you all are doing well.
Great. Me too. I hope you're all doing well as well. We're doing well. I'm doing well. Are you doing well? Good. I'm glad that we got that out of the way and that we're all doing well. I'm not quite sure. I don't know why I feel a little off right now.
Who knows?
Let's take a moment.
So, let's see. We'll just jump in.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, let's start with admin-y stuff.
Yes. So go on.
Yesterday, the 4 winners from the last episode for the Kit Along, your prizes were sent out yesterday, so hopefully you should have them fairly soon.
Congratulations to the winners. I just realized, nope, I'm more on top of things than I thought.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
We are also running a clockwork cal. It seems like it's been going on for a long time, but it really hasn't, right? We started in April?
We started at the time change.
Yeah,
whenever
the time
that
change.
was. It
So
goes
that
from
goes-
one time change until summer.
Yeah,
the start of
so
summer.
June is like right around the corner. So I think we decided that it was going to be like June 20th or 21st, whatever the summer solstice is. That's when we'll end it, that first day of summer. It's been amazing seeing all of your shawls and what you've been doing with the colors. I really love seeing the lower contrast ones, which has been really kind of amazing. That's the choice that I made. The 2 that we previously made are like higher contrast. Like that's a higher contrast one.
Yeah. Here's a high contrast.
It's stunning. It's a great pattern. And then some of the lower ones.
Like, here's a little bit of a lower.
Yeah.
Not too much lower, though.
But it's been really cool. So we have a hashtag on Instagram, hashtag NATR Clockwork. And we are running this on Ravelry. So if you head over to our Ravelry page, if you haven't already joined our group, go ahead and join our little group. You can see that we have an FO thread and a chatter thread. So the way that the chatter thread works, for those of you who don't know, is you can just chit-chat about the pattern, about other things, give inspiration, and we choose a comment from the chatter thread. It doesn't necessarily have to have a project in it. So the more active you are on that thread, the more chances you have to win. And then our FO thread, wow, did they make 4 of them?
So this is 4 out of 5 of them from a Tuesday night knit social have completed a clockwork.
That's amazing.
So there's 4.
Look how different. So head on over there. It's been a lot of fun seeing all of these. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is another really nice one.
Like, you could really do so many different things with the colors.
Here's
the brioche one.
This is a brioche version.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, I can see kind of.
Me too, like where the increases are kind of.
Yeah.
Or
interesting.
Yeah. There's another brioche one. Same person. Good for you.
Yep. Here's another brioche. That's cool.
That's really cool. Oh, I need another project in my life right now. But yeah. That sounds great. So that's going on. Please join us there. Last episode, we thank you for the wonderful donation from our very good friend. I don't have it with me, but we decided to do a spontaneous giveaway during the last podcast, and we were giving away a skein, 2 50-gram skeins, matching skeins of Turtle Pearl in the colorway Trench Coat. The prompt was you can leave any comment with the word trench coat in it, and we did draw a winner. We're also using our Freeform app again. For those of you who don't know, this is pretty much everything we're going to talk about in the episode today. The winner is Sally Hall 3042. You said, I love this comment too. Oh no, where did it go? You said, not that, but I have a trench coat and I think it's great. It's got 9 buttons, but I can only fasten 8. Isn't that amazing? So if that is you, please reach out to us via email. Is a lot easier, but if you don't have access to email for some reason, you can reach out on Instagram as well. Let us know that you are the winner. Send us your address and your real name, and we will get that out to you. This is what it looks like all knit up. I did this morning on our sock machine. So this is the trench coat colorway.
So good.
Isn't it so good?
Yeah, I actually went to Turtle Pearl's website because we have never used their yarn. No. I don't know prior to getting these skeins, if I've
never even seen it in person.
So they have a lot of beautiful colors.
Yeah.
And I will say, too, their bases are pretty affordable for self-striping. I think it's more... I would say pretty affordable for self-striping dyer. And I like that each colorway, you have the option of buying it with or without a mini. So, like, with a mini, I think they run, like, maybe $31.
Okay. Oh, that's actually not bad.
No.
Especially for self-striping, because we all know how hard that is to get done. So, anyway, this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply. It's about 450 yards per 100 grams. And they are known for their... like having each skein match 100%. So this yarn has been dyed to be self-striping. Both strands were dyed together. This will create matching socks that can be easily knit 2 at a time. And then for matching socks, obviously ensure that you start from the same end of each ball. And so what I did was I took each 50-gram skein. I put it... I wound it on a cone using our amazing cone winder by
Joyce Sews and
Knits. And I just separated the 2 skeins with some waste yarn. But as you can see, both skeins match like exactly, which is really, really cool. Is that nice? So it makes it a lot easier.
This is we'll say this is the start of one, and that white is the start of the other.
Yes.
Because this, right?
Yep. But it still ends. Like you get an extra stripe over here.
Right.
But yeah. So I thought that was really cool. The colorway it's really just fun. I love that like just little single stripe in there.
Yeah, people have mentioned so Burberry, which I totally see. It absolutely reminds me of Burberry.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget, Columbo,
I love Inspector Gadget,
and Doctor Who were the 3 people that were mentioned most. When referring to the trench coat colorway. So
this is going to go into our gift bag full of sock tubes, and we'll start having some of our family and friends and stuff pick out socks that they want, and we just need to know their size, and it'll be easy peasy to get some socks done.
Nice.
So, yeah, I thought that was fun.
So
congratulations. Please, again, reach out to us. For those of you who did enter, there were some really fun comments. I love when we have a keyword in there. And then to see like the creativity of some of the people, how do they try to work that in? So that one just happened to be a random number generator, but it was one of the fun ones. So thanks. Let's see, what else? Any other administrative things?
No.
All right. I guess we can then move on. So for finished objects, I have 0.
I have 0.
What? Is that the first time that this has happened?
I don't think so. I feel like when I think about my crafting for the past 2 weeks, I feel like my crafting was... I don't know if it was disjointed.
Sporadic?
It kind of was. I don't know that it had... Yeah, it was just a little like... It was just all over the place this past 2 weeks, which... Sometimes I'm a fan of. I kind of wasn't a fan of it this past 2 weeks. Like, I do wish I focused a little bit more. I did struggle with stuff this past 2 weeks, like getting something cast on and getting it to where...
Well, you also have 2 crochet projects that you're working on now that we'll talk about.
Correct.
Which has been really fun. I've also been crocheting too, in addition to the knitting. So there's a lot to show still in the works in progress. But
yeah, I have 4.
I have a lot.
Yeah.
I brought everything up just to kind of show, because I did make progress on everything. My mind was also the same thing. I did finish this class for school, which was great. I ended up getting an A. It was actually one of my favorite classes that I've taken. It's human resource management and healthcare. I thought it was, I learned a lot, and it was like applicable immediately to my everyday job. So that was really nice. Got my grade yesterday, I think it was. So now I can just kind of relax. And I'm taking the summer off, so I'll start back up again in the fall. So I feel nice. I feel clean. Like the slate is clean. Not clean. Like I did shower. I'm very clean. That was kind of bizarre. Just in case you wonder, I do shower every single day. I use shampoo and soap in the shower.
Fantastic.
And I use beard oil when I get out of the shower. Just to keep things nice and smooth and soft.
Great.
Okay.
Well, glad we got that out of the way.
Me too. So anyway, my point was, I think, I'm just really excited to start casting on some new things and maybe finishing some things. I've got a really exciting project that I'm going to be starting shortly.
Probably Tuesday?
The yarn's coming today.
Oh, is it?
I got an update, yeah.
Oh, so probably today or tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. I'll swatch today.
Okay.
For those of you who are asking and dying to know, I'll tell you, okay, twist my arm. So, I was lucky enough to get chosen to test knit Max the Knitter's newest pattern. It is the Old Fashioned. It's a cardigan based on his
single malt sweater.
It's been on Instagram. He put out a test call, and I was really excited because here's a sweater. It's a cardigan. I think I just said that. It's very relaxed, chill kind of cardigan. No buttons, no muss or fuss. I love the texture that has there. And Vincent dyed up, or part of his regular collection now, is a colorway named after me, which is really humbling and exciting. It's called Raised Branches. That's an Aran weight cardigan. So I purchased a sweater's quantity of Raised Branches, because of course, why shouldn't I?
You have... No, you didn't get it.
No, I didn't even know that they had it when we were at Woolen Folk.
That's right.
I didn't even know it was on the shelf. I totally would have bought it then. But anyway, I think everything is lining up really nicely. I wanted to knit the single malt. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's kind of perfect. And then I can use my my namesake to do it. Because I'm, not full of myself or anything like that at all. Okay, right, Justine? So, I'm just kidding. So I think that's really kind of all of the accoutrement to this week's episode.
Yeah. And our 2 weeks have been, other than that, they've been normal. Nothing crazy.
No. You helped out my brother by dog sitting, which has been really nice. They took a trip to Disney.
Yeah, so I went over and took care of their dog 5 days over the last 2 weeks, just for a couple hours each day.
Yeah.
But
we talked about our nephew, how he had come over, and we found out that he loves Star Wars. So almost every day I've been getting pictures from my brother with our nephew. I guess he's been wanting him to send us pictures of him with all the Star Wars characters and stuff. It's been really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's that.
That's it.
So we're just going to jump into some knitting.
Great.
You might as well go.
I think I'm going to say this is going to be a short episode.
Oh, Jesus. So that reminds me of... I was watching 911 yesterday, and apparently you don't say the word quiet.
No, you can't, ever.
And when you say it's going to be a short episode, it now reminds me of saying the word quiet, because that...
We don't say the Q word out at the hospital. No.
In any... Not even that it's a quiet day, or if something is not making noise, being like, oh, it's so quiet.
Mm-mm. If you really want to piss off nurses... You walk into their unit and say, wow, it's quiet in here today. And that is you will have an enemy for life.
So, I, again, have 4 whips. You might as well just go, because you probably have
No, I don't. I really don't. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so...
That I've been working on.
Go ahead.
Okay, super short, just quick little updates. I don't know how much I've actually... done progress-wise. A couple of these I didn't mark, but I'll just talk about them really, really quickly. This is the Musselburgh by Isolde Teague. I picked this back up again and just been kind of knitting in the round. I can do this now, right? You said?
No,
I'm bad at technology.
Guys, I wish you all...
What?
I wish, like, we could express how... You're not bad at technology. You're... I don't know how to...
Let's not... Maybe it's best that you don't say.
You don't fully understand the capabilities of technology.
Maybe. Yeah. But I used to be...
just said this
the person that people would go to when they had problems with their VCRs and the remote controls and stuff.
Age yourself so much.
I'm just saying. Like,
when your mom couldn't get the black and white TV to turn color.
Shush.
You helped.
Listen, we were born and raised as human remote controls, and I think we had the leg up for a while with VCRs and DVD players when those first came out. But...
All right, go ahead.
Anywho, this is the Musselburgh by Isolde Teague. I am knitting this according to pattern. For those, I'm sure most of you know about this hat, but it's knit from like a pinhole cast on or some other type of cast on that you can cinch together. And you do your increases. Once you have enough, you measure your gauge, and then you use that number to determine how many stitches and rounds and all of that stuff that you need. So I believe this is DK weight yarn. This is Ulysses from, I'm going to say this wrong, but I'm going to try. Derurum?
No.
Natura? What is that then? Do you say that? Derurum?
Where do you get the rum? Like, derum? There's only rum's only in there once.
So anyway, it's this here, and then it's by... It was an $11 game, which is not bad at all. We have this link down below. We will have this link down below. Here is the Derurum Natura.
Well, here,
it's 100% wool. See? Derurum Natura.
Not rum, though.
No, I said rum by accident.
Red rum.
But I think maybe we should get a colorway named rum. That could be fun. Okay, so I don't know what I was saying. So it's 100% wool. It's non-superwash. It is DK weight. 50 grams gets me about 185 meters in each skein. I do have 2 of these. I definitely will break into the second one. However, I don't think that I will go through the majority of that second skein. But I really like the yarn. It's kind of hard to tell there because the lighting is a little bit bright right now, but there are some little like specks of different colors in here.
Yeah, there's
like a green or a yellow. What is that called?
It's very similar to like the spin of a Brooklyn tweed yarn where you have different colored bits in it.
Yeah, it's been very nice to work with. I think this is going to be a really nice soft but
right, it's a 2-ply. I wonder if you can see a little bit more in here. Maybe a little less, actually, because I have some skeins, too. So there's just some, like, flecks of gray in it.
Yeah.
In this one.
I'm really, really impressed with it.
Where did we get this Brooklyn General? Remember I was saying...
We might have gotten it at Brooklyn General.
I feel like we did, because I got knitting for Olive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're the same price tag, too. I wonder now.
I wonder, too. But, again... now that you're starting to enter your yarns in, that's a problem of the past.
It is.
Yeah. I'm using... Oh, it's on the actual...
Oh, those are on the cable.
Yeah, these are on the cable.
Do you have it in your notebook?
Yeah, but it's downstairs. These are Addies. The fixed Addies. I really like these a lot for hats. It's very, very smooth. The cable doesn't bother me when it's in the round. It doesn't get twisted or tangled up or anything like that. It's totally fine. So this is probably my preferred needle for hats, like hat circumference. Hat size projects.
For knitting in a small circumference?
Except for socks. I prefer Chowgoos for those. Yeah, that's really all. I don't really know where I was, but I'm I'm to the point where I can keep the yarn inside the hat while I'm knitting, so it doesn't get all tangled and stuff. And it's just been easy, like TV knitting when I want to pay attention. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Go again.
Okay.
Because you have 7?
I don't know.
All right.
I forgot I found another one. So this is my sock. I think I showed this last time. I didn't make much more progress on it, but this is the Le Garçon Mysterious Podcasters Club colorway, and this is Mysterious Ray. Oh, I'm really am I full of myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not full of myself. What's the word I'm looking for? When you just focus on yourself, not be full of. You're egocentric, maybe. I don't know. But I love this color. I think it's really, really pretty. And stop it. That's where the camera is. See, look what happens if I put it over here.
Just right there, right? Because now it's not covering your face, so people
but I can't see.
But people can read your lips. I'm done with you.
Okay. Again, Mysterious Podcaster. This is the Mysterious Ray. It's on their BFL sock base, which is 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. And then the gray is Emma's
Stone.
Emma's Stone. Yeah, my eyes are maybe I am getting a little older. It's all the VCR work that I did back in the day. Yeah, so that's I've put a couple rows on as well. I've just been picking things up and putting them down.
Where's that from? Crap,
it's that
the
stupid
movie.
commercial. No, it's a commercial for like Gold's Gym or something.
Yeah.
I like to pick things up and put them down.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
Okay, that's that. Super quick. This is knit on 9-inch circular needles. I can't get close to the microphone, so you just have to pretend. 2.25 millimeter US 1, 9-inch circulars. I do 72 stitches. My preferred method is cuff down, and I like to do a German twisted cast on. I find it nice and stretchy enough, but it also looks cool when you're not wearing it, because that's the important thing about socks, right? When you're looking at them and not wearing them. I believe I did 20 rows of 2x2 rib, and then what I ended up doing before joining the main color is I just knit one single row in the Emma's Stone, so that you wouldn't have that like little individual like jog where you can see behind the stitches there. I think that's really it. So yeah, I'll do 72 stitches. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to do like an 8-inch leg. Okay. Then I'll do my heel. I'll do a cut-in heel. Those have been fitting me very well lately.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy a cut-in heel.
Yeah.
And speaking of socks, I saw a really cool reel, I think, on Instagram from Pip and Pin on how she...
to fold them, right?
How she folds her socks. So go check that out. I liked it. I wouldn't say knit socks are a little bit harder to like fold than a normal pair of socks. I think they are because they're a little bit thicker. But I did that for one of your pairs, and it worked really, really well. So if you have Instagram, check out Pip and Pin and see how they put their socks away.
Yeah, it was really nice. I tried to remember how it was today when I was putting away socks, and I couldn't, so then I just rolled them up.
On hand-knit socks?
Hand-knit socks.
Oh. I should go through and do that to all of mine, actually. Maybe I'll do that today. All right. How many more whips do you have? 5. All right, go again.
Really?
Yeah, because I only have 4.
Okay.
And 2 of ours are the same thing.
Oh, I was going to show one of the same, so I'm not going to do that then.
Okay.
Guess what? I will show this. This is a crochet project. As you know, we've been working on knitting up, or now crocheting up, some samples with Kevin's yarn to kind of get ready for trunk shows, which we will have more details on a little bit later. Not today, but later.
Days wise.
So I thought, wouldn't it be cool to do a crocheted sample with your yarn?
Also, the reason that we've been crocheting a lot is because we wanted to test out the new hooks that we purchased 2 weeks ago. We showed them last episode from New England.
Northeast
Northeast Woodworks. who are currently vending in New Hampshire Sheep and Wool.
Yes. We'll have that link down below as well. Anything that we talk about, we will link down below. Like Kevin was saying, just click that more button and more again, and you'll see our show notes there. If we forget something, just reach out to us, and we're happy to provide that information. Because we do tend to talk about a lot of things, and then we forget. This is living in my Madder Root bag. So I was looking for a single skein crochet shawl, and I happened upon this one. This is the Sugar Plum Shawl by RayJKnits. It's a really nice, like, lacy looking shawl. I thought it would be very easy, like, to kind of get done. It's a $7 pattern. It's a lot of work, but I think the payoff is going to be absolutely gorgeous. It calls for fingering weight yarn with a hook size of an E hook or 3.5 millimeter hook. So here's what I have. I decided to use some asteroid belt from Needles at the Ready. This is on the Achilles sock base, which is our 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. What I like about the Achilles base as opposed to like the 80-20 base is that this...
I don't have an 80-20 base anymore.
Oh, or the 100% superwash. Yeah. Is that this tends to feel a little bit thinner almost. Yes. So if you want a drapier fabric, this is where I really like this base for. And I haven't gotten much progress done on this. These are the hooks from Northeast Woodworks. Really, really beautiful. These are interchangeable crochet hooks. We have the whole set. We talked about these last time. It's an inline hook. You can see that. It's an inline hook. And this, I'm using an E as recommended by the pattern. I did notice that my gauge is a little bit different on these hooks than it is on my regular hooks that I prefer, which I have another project. I'll show you those too. I like the Amore hooks.
Yeah, that was actually something that somebody in the comments had mentioned in the previous episode as well, is that they enjoy these hooks, but they do find that their gauge is a little bit different, so you just have to pay a little more attention to that.
And don't be afraid to go down a hook size if you need to, or go up a hook size. Right. You don't need to stick with, or the same thing with knitting needles. Yeah. Most of the time, people's gauges are just so different that it's okay if you have to go down a needle size. It's okay to go up a hook size or whatever the case is. So don't be afraid. Don't get discouraged. I really find these very well balanced, very comfortable in my hand. I know I've said this before, but now since using them, like I sometimes, the way I hold my crochet hook is like this. Yeah. And so sometimes the bottom of the crochet hook can dig into my that pad in my hand there and get a little bit and be a little bit uncomfortable. This is a very smooth, rounded bottom that fits there really nicely. And so I haven't had any issues with like having to put this down or having any redness there that some of the other crochet hooks will do. So without further ado, this is what I have. This is the colorway. And this is what I have so far. It's really not that much, but it feels like it was a lot because I'll show you in a sec. I just want to make sure that I don't pull this out because it's going to be hard to figure out where the thing was. All right, so this is what I have so far. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning when it's done and blocked out. Because my gauge is a little bit looser, which I was hoping for, it'll be a really nice lacy, drapey shawl. But I'm really excited about the progress that I've made so far. It's really neat when all of a sudden you start seeing these little scallop edges, come in, and then the separation there. So this is the bottom of the shawl. It's knit bottom up. No, top down. I'm not quite sure. So I'm crocheting.
Where did you start?
I'm crocheting this way. So I'm going around this way here. So this end stays flat, but I believe I cast on, down here.
I see.
And so it's, this will be the flat edge of the shawl. So what is that considered, the top?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can really kind of see the
lace.
The lacy, the pattern there. Isn't it? I think it's going to be really, really pretty. And I'm really happy with the colorway that I chose for this. It looks very...
Is there a lot of projects for it or no? I don't know. Oh, you're not signed in.
I'm not signed in. 99 projects.
Oh, okay.
For this one. So, yeah, that's that. What has been really interesting about this is that there's a written pattern as well as a chart, and I've never done a chart before in crochet. It was a little bit intimidating for me, and I don't want to show it because it is a paid for pattern, but the pattern itself, like the line by line instructions, so like row, one of the rows, I'm not even kidding you, is probably like this long with the words, and there's brackets upon brackets upon brackets in there. So it was a little bit difficult for me to follow line by line, but once I found the chart, maybe I can show you just like a little bit of it, just so that you can see what a crochet chart looks like if you're not familiar. Once I found the chart, it made a lot more sense to me. I know that looks like gobbledygook a little bit for those who are not familiar. But what I ended up doing was I printed out the chart and then I went row by row just to kind of see how the stitches match up. And it's so much easier now with the chart because I don't think it was very clear in the pattern. It probably was, but as the rows go on, it wasn't very clear that you're just repeating the same thing, over and over again. So you have a section here that you just repeat until the end.
So I'm going to ask a question.
Yes.
So this is probably into that stitch. Do 2 single crochets?
Yes. No, 2 double crochets.
Oh, double, double.
Yep. This is a treble crochet. This is the chain space.
Right, chain space. You're doing 3 double crochets. Here you're doing a double.
Yep.
1 double in this, a double, and a double.
And then you're skipping this one, doing a double in this one, skipping this one. So it's easier. It's a lot easier for me to follow this pattern. So I'm really excited. If anybody else wants to jump in and crochet this, or if you've done it already, let me know, because I really think that this is going to be absolutely beautiful. It's just taking me a little bit more time. It's not something I can sit in front of the TV and do.
I cannot crochet and watch TV.
Yeah. No, I'm the same.
Because crocheting for me, I have to look at. So I can't watch TV. I can listen to it, but I can't watch.
Yeah. Even like a single crochet or a double crochet, like straight across, I still have to look at everything.
All right. I guess I'll jump in now.
Sure.
Thanks for hogging everything.
You're very welcome. But I got through that pretty quick. I try to get through it quick.
So the first thing I'm working on is Living in a Beautiful Sisters bag.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And this is pretty much, it's almost done. It'll be done maybe this weekend if I get to it. So I was so thrilled with my shorty socks that I showed last time from Woolens and Nosh that I cast on a second pair, and they are all but done. This is in the colorway Percolated.
So good.
And I have, let's see how much I have left. Just over 51 grams.
It is so good.
So what I wanted to do with these is
That's my favorite stripe in there.
Which one?
The blue. Is that blue?
Yeah. I've had this skein caked up for I can't tell you how long and sitting downstairs waiting to be cast on because I knew I didn't want to do a full sock in it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something a little different, and then I was like, okay, well, doing a shorty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Well, actually, let's talk about it. So I cast on 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is a US 1. I did a German twisted cast on, and when I do that, actually, this is the same exact spot. So I cast on right here at the color change. So when you have it on your needle, you can get it so that, like you're right there at that color change. And it creates just a little row at the top. So 64 stitches, German twisted cast on, do a 1x1 twisted rib. When I get to a color change, instead of purling my pearls, I do knit them until I complete that color change. And it hides that little, like those little bumps right there.
Yep.
So they're on the inside instead of on the outside of the sock. I did 10 rows of the 1x1 twisted rib. Then I did on this one, let's see. One.
The twisted rib looks so good on socks.
And then on the,
wow.
For these, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'll cut in my heel 3 rows of stockinette. And then I added my marker. That's where I will cut in the heel. And then I knit 6 1/4 inches before I start my toe. And I think they lined up pretty well. Like,
yeah,
there may be,
they look great.
Maybe about a row difference or so. Not even.
Yeah, no, it looks really good, Kev.
And then what I'm going to do for the heel is I'm going to use the leftover yarn. I don't know. I think I brought it downstairs already. The leftover yarn from my penguins socks.
That's a great color.
To do this one, because when I bought the skein, I bought just the skein. It didn't have a coordinating mini with it. So I'll finish using up that yarn for the heels. And yeah, and speaking of those socks from last week, they fit pretty well. Which is interesting is that they're incredibly loose. Which is weird.
Well, they're not incredibly loose. I think.
Well, they're looser than I'm used to.
Yeah.
And one of them's looser than the other, so I can tell that my gauge changed, I would say, quite a bit during the knitting of those 2 socks.
I'm curious to see how these will fit you, because this will be a good, no pun intended, gauge of whether or not you need to go down a needle size or decrease the number of stitches.
I think I would go down a needle size before decreasing the number of stitches.
Because I know, like, you could always do, 58 stitches or something like that, if you ever need.
Yeah, I'll probably go down.
Or 62.
A size if these feel too large as well. If there's too much positive ease in it. But yeah, so that's that.
Nice. Great. Speaking of Woolens and Nosh, her Advent for 2024 went on sale last night at 8 p.m. We got ours this morning. Well, our order. We put our order in this morning. So you have 2 options this year: is a DK with a mini high twist DK or the Targi fingering base. So we got one of each. I'm going to do the DK socks this year. So if you haven't already, you want to jump on that train, please choo it up, because I don't know how many more are going to be left in the
and she posted, I don't know, it was probably about a week or so ago, about her Advent and some changes that she's making to it. So definitely go back and read that post as well. And
on the listing itself in her shop, it also goes over all of those changes from last year.
All right.
You're
up.
Woohoo. Okay, next up, I have a huge update on my dad's sweater. For those of you who have been encouraging me, I think you'll be happy to know that I have completed the second front panel of my dad's sweater.
It's like a trench coat.
Freaking huge. So last we chatted, I was here. I completed all of the increases and decreases. There was a lot. And a lot of these you had to do at the same time as some other shaping. And then I'm finished with this.
This looks smaller though. Is that this shorter than your other piece?
No.
Because I felt like mine was really, I could be remembering incorrectly.
If I knit this incorrectly, I'm burning it. Burning. So no. So here is...
Oh, maybe that, yeah.
Here are they're both the same. I used the first one as a gauge for the second one. So...
As a schematic?
So this is the
Ivan?
Right panel? Yeah, this is the Ivan sweater. Sorry, everyone. This is the Ivan sweater by Veronique Avery. It is a really beautiful pattern. You can see the different, like, it's an oversized cardigan with a lot of positive ease. It's got some fashion decreases and tulip sleeves. No buttons, so it's just meant to kind of be very like high fashion, which is nice. Here's a closer up of like the sleeves. There's like a little special twist that happens in there for the cuff, which I expect you to help me with since you struggled a little bit.
I struggled because I didn't read the pattern.
So it's like 3/4 inch sleeves as well.
3/4 length.
3/4 length, not 3/4 inch. Can you imagine?
Those would be really short sleeves.
That would be really short. Yeah. So yeah, I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the colorway. No, Knit Picks Wool Twists, Simply Wool Twist in the colorway Winkle and Wanda. I'm trying to see if I have a tag, but it's 100% natural wool. It's not dyed or anything like that, which is really great. So,
I think they call it eco wool.
Yeah, eco wool. So I have one panel. I have 2 panels now. Look at all that knitting. And I have the back, the blanket portion.
That is a baby's blanket.
It is an adult blanket, basically. So I'm knitting the second to last size to get all the positive ease. My dad is taller than I am. And I think, and he really is excited about it. So according to my mother, he's excited about it. Hopefully it's just not you, Mom, telling me to just keep going, just to keep going. So with their powers combined, they're going to become a sleeveless cardigan. So, no, I'm just kidding. I have to do I will be doing the sleeves next. And then once I do the sleeves, which will be a significantly less amount of knitting than this, I'll put it together and, we'll have a cardigan 2.5 years later.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. So, I honestly though, since picking it back up again, I've really enjoyed the process. It was nice. That was kind of like my focus, just to get that portion completed over this past 2 weeks. We're going into that one?
No, I'm going to do this one first because the next 2 are the 2 that we both have.
Okay, because I still have another one too. That's not the same.
Right, so you would do that.
Sure.
That after this. All right. So what I decided...
Wow, we've been working on a lot. No wonder why we haven't gotten anything done.
I know. So what I decided to do, if you guys remember, months and months and months ago, I had attempted to start a granny stripe blanket. And I just couldn't do it, basically. So what I decided to do was do one again. So there were a couple things wrong with my attempt previously. One is I couldn't tell the difference between the 2 sides. And that's my fault because I wasn't treating it like a regular knitting project where sometimes I will put a stitch marker on a side of the project, especially when I was just learning how to knit, to know what side was the wrong side and the right side. So that if I had a repeat, let's say rows 3 and 4, then I knew I had to do 3 on this side and 4 on the other side. I didn't do that previously, and I'm doing that now. And one of the other issues I had on the previous attempt was the number of ends that I had.
Yeah.
And not really understanding how to weave in ends on crocheting. So what I did instead is I took 12 minis and I created a magic knot cake. Well, a ball first and then I caked it up. So that was that issue, and putting the stitch marker also allowed me to keep track of the rows. So I know once you do rows 1, 2, 3, and 4, you just, in this pattern, you're repeating rows 3 and 4. So I still think I made a mistake on my stitch count, but it's working out. So we're just going to go with it. So here is what I have so far.
It's so good. I really want to take apart mine and just do the magic cake again and do this again.
Do it. So these are minis from color testing and that I've done. These are 10-gram minis. They're all in 80/20 superwash merino nylon blend. They're just under 10 grams because I do wind some off and put them on bobbins. So that'd be really... I don't know if I've ever showed that. Do you want to grab that?
I don't mind grabbing it at all.
So I have a ton. I don't know if I have like 50 or whatever the case is. Ray has a bunch. I have a bunch. And we did some organization in this room, I think last weekend. And I just thought, okay, I need to find a way to use these. And crochet just is quicker. It uses it up faster, uses more. So that's where we're at. So this is, I don't know if I showed this before, but this is my bobbin bin of colors, not all, colors that I've tested and kept my notes of very well. So each of these, my tonals, yeah. So each of these, there's a mini that will be going in this blanket, I think. I'm using, I guess, the pattern that I found on, I don't know if I have it anymore because I just took a screenshot of the repeat. Crud. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So this is it's a free pattern. It's on a website, so you know it has all that extra information that you don't need. So CJ Designs, it's CJ Designs blog or design blog, and I just followed that. Her information. What I did do, so this is fingering weight, so I'm using a 3.5 millimeter, which is an E, and I tried chaining with this, and there was literally no give in the blanket. So I ripped everything out, and I went up two sizes, right? So I went to 4.5 millimeter to chain, and it also allowed me to decrease the number of chain stitches that I did. So initially, I chained 284 or 86, I forget the exact number. And then this one, I went down by 100. So it was like 186, and I still think I got a pretty good...
Oh, yeah, it's a good width.
A good width for this.
Yeah, it really is.
So I'm getting about 2.5 or 2.25 rows with each mini, which is really nice. And they're just random. Here's my cake. So I'm working on this color. We have a blue, a green, a gold. It looks like a black. And then I think a purple left. And then what I'll do when this is done, I'll go grab 12 more, make another magic knot ball, cake it back up, and then just keep going. So this has been nice to just kind of get in the flow of crocheting. And it is quite enjoyable. Pro tip. Apparently, well, I don't know if it's a pro tip. Apparently, I'm a very aggressive crocheter, and this helps close my exercise ring on my Apple Watch.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I did this one morning, and I got up. Like, I was just hanging out on the couch, having my coffee, and crocheting, and I looked at my watch, and it said I had like 14 or 15 minutes of exercise time. I was like, I haven't done anything. I've sat here and drank coffee all morning.
Hey, crocheting.
But it does. I will say, I don't know if it's the crocheting. This wrist has been bothering me quite a bit the last 2 weeks. And I've done a good deal of crocheting over the last 2 weeks. So I don't know. We'll have to see if that continues.
Hopefully not. That would be where you're holding maybe you're tensioning your yarn a little bit too, like...
Tight?
Yeah, I'm pulling, like, maybe like some carpal tunnel stuff going on.
So that's that.
Great.
You're up.
Okay. I also made significant progress on my Wild Horses cardigan from Bare Naked Wools. This is a fingering weight cardigan by Ann Hansen. We decided on a couple of patterns and some yarn, or based on the yarn that we wanted to purchase this past year at Rhinebeck. So this is Wild Horses, which is a very simple, I think, staple cardigan. No real frills at all. I am using Bare Naked Wools by Knit Spot in their Better Breakfast fingering. It's 450 yards per 115 gram skeins, which is really nice. It's a 3-ply. It's 55% merino, 35% de-haired alpaca, and 10% nylon. It's in the colorway Milk and Honey. It's coming across a little bit more yellow, I think, on the screen than it is in real life. It's a very like pale creamy color. So I finished the whole back, which was the back panel, which I'm really, really excited about. It's not much from when you saw it last, but but I was able to finish it. So this is the back. I think here, I'll stand up for a sec. It's very tight here. So I think it'll be a good length.
Yeah.
And of course, like, this is going to be like my back, but yeah, I think it's going to be really nice. The yarn is super, super soft. I'm really excited about it. It's very drapey.
And I just checked what de-haired alpaca is, and it's taking out the vegetation and the coarse.
Oh.
So it removes the coarse hair fibers and vegetation from the alpaca fleece.
Okay, and that's really good to know, because usually with the bare naked wools, it's very sheepy yarn, so like there is a lot of vegetation in it typically. It still does smell sheepy, which is nice. Oh,
but I wonder if see, I'm interested about the alpaca, the coarse hair, because alpaca is generally a really soft yarn. So I wonder if all alpaca yarn is de-haired.
I don't know. Probably not, but who knows? Anyway, it's really beautiful. So I still have this whole back panel was knit in just one skein, and I still have this left. Can you weigh that?
Yeah,
just curious.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
I think I bought 5 or 6 skeins of this.
How are they? 100 gram?
They're 115 grams.
Okay, so you have 7.08.
Okay, so that's good to know. So if you were to do this, and I'm knitting the 5th size in the pattern. So if you're doing this with another yarn,
with 100 grams,
with 100 gram skein, you would have probably had to go into another skein.
And I'll show this again, and we showed it last week.
Yeah.
In case anybody's wondering, these are the scales that we both have to measure our leftover yarns.
Yep.
It's a little. I think it's considered a jewelry scale, but nice little compact, and you can take it with you.
Super easy. I'm knitting this in the recommended needles, so it's a US 3 for the body, US 3 for the ribbing, US 5 for the body. So I just have the panels to do, and the sleeves and stuff. It's going to be a process. My focus is going to be the old fashioned, because I'm super excited about that, and then we'll see how it goes when I get back to this. But it was nice to have like both cardigans at a point where like I'm not in the middle of something, like I feel accomplished even though it's not a full finished object. Like I feel like I accomplished something. So super happy about that progress.
All right. Next up, my next one is, you guys will continue to see this and have seen a bunch. It's the Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones. So I've made a bit of progress, not as much as I had hoped. I was here last time you saw it. So I finished this skein, and this was from Lane and Lotus. And I'm actually almost done with this skein, and I'm almost done with the row. I have I would say maybe about 10. 13 more rows to do. And then I'll be done with stripe number 4. And I'm using fingering weight yarn, leftover scraps. I'm currently using these, which are all the scraps from your Dragon Horde and Yarn Cafe Creations Advent.
That's the shawl that one of my favorite shawls that I knit out of that was the Adventure Wrap shawl.
Brioche Adventure.
Yeah, Brioche
from
Adventure.
Jonathan Tallow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna use these next and finish off this bag.
They're beautiful colors.
I am thinking though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that might be enough to do stripe 5.
Oh.
I have to determine how many stripes I'm going to do width-wise. Because I do think I have a bunch of leftover Woolens and Nosh.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do one stripe that's just Woolens and Nosh.
I love that.
And I wonder if it would be fun to do that in the middle stripe of the blanket. So let's say I determine I want to do
7 stripes. You would do like the 4th one.
Right. So
That's a cool idea.
I believe I was thinking somewhere around the 12 to 16. So I would change it to do 13 to 7, somewhere between 13 and 17, and then just do it smack dab in the middle.
Love it.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing it on DPNs, and I want to say this is a... Oh, duh, I have a book with the notes in it. I want to say 3.25 millimeter. No, I'm sorry, 2.75 millimeter needle.
Which I think is a US 3.
And I'm following the instructions, but I'm not at the same time. I'm also using the pickup alteration here from the Crazy Sock Lady, Kay Litton. And I'm joining my yarn at the beginning of the round, which I guess, or beginning of a row, which isn't called for in the pattern.
Well, so in the pattern, she says the way that she does it, Kay Jones from Bakery Bears, the way that she does it is that she just prefers to join them in the middle of a row. This is absolutely gorgeous.
It's going to be so fun.
Oh my gosh.
It is a blast to knit. I have so much fun working on this. What's going to be really nice, though, so I have, like I said last time, I threw in some of my colors in there. Like this one is New Growth.
Yeah.
This one is now called Rustic Brick. And then this one over here is called Moonlight Mist, maybe? If not, it's... because there's 2 new grays. This is the darker of the 2. So I won't be putting these in anymore, I don't think, because they're going to be going into the...
Oh, the crochet blanket.
The crocheted one.
Yeah.
So... that is that blanket.
Nice. I also have just been a crazy copycat of Kevin's, and I showed this last time. I put a little bit more work onto it, but not a lot. I'm doing a DK version of the same blanket. We came across a lot of DK yarn when we were cleaning out our spout closet. And then that's another thing that we did this week is we cleaned around the office here. There was just some bags of yarn that hadn't been put away since, well, let's not talk about that for a while. So we were able to kind of purge a little bit. We made a nice donation to the library, a couple of books and stuff, and gave away some skeins of yarn to our knitting group, which was really nice. So
why is Siri listening to us?
She's not listening to me.
She is right there on your iPad.
Oh, I don't know. Go away. So here's what I have. I just did, this is where I was last time. So I basically just finished off this stripe and I started this this last stripe here. I'm still on row 1. I'm not sure how long I want to make this. I was hoping to have this like from the floor up to like here. Just because I was thinking like if I lay out, you know, I want to, like, who knows, like, sometimes if I want to have
grow,
a blanket like
because
this.
it's not super
and it's garter, so it'll definitely grow a lot that way if I want it to. So currently, I still have a while to go. I'll drop this down to the ground. So if it's there, so I still have quite a bit to go. I'm like right at a little bit.
You could get that done in like a day, though. Less than a day.
Oh yeah, I think so. So I still have some time left. I'm doing a whole bunch of different minis. Like this one we know is Leading Men Fiber Arts in the colorway Midnight Rendezvous is what I'm working on now. My plan is just to finish this nugget off.
Oh, that's Patrick's hat.
Oh, maybe. So here's what.
That's all DK.
Yeah,
I didn't realize there was that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. Plus, there's a whole advent. There's a whole DK advent that we came across when we were organizing. I can't remember where it's from.
I won it. It was an Instagram win.
Yeah. So I'm going to put all of that in the blanket as well, which I think will be really nice. And I did, like, there are some yarn, like, I used this already, but I didn't put that much. So I'm going to put some of these...
No, that's not this.
Yeah, it is.
No. Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. No, it's not.
I was going to say, I didn't think
no,
that
it's
was.
not. That's for something else. Don't. Anyway, long story short.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have, I think I used this.
No.
Okay. So anyway, my point is, I used some of this yarn.
So he doesn't want his stripes to be super big, the blocks. He's afraid of having them too long, that it's going to look weird. So instead of using a full thing, you've been cutting them.
Thank you. Yeah. And thinking maybe I'll use them again later on in the shawl. But then I'm thinking in the blanket.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I don't want to do that, I think. If I have this DK, the Advent and stuff.
Yeah, just go with it. Just finish.
I'm just going to go with it. Like, whatever I feel, I'm going to do. Okay? I'm excited to have one stripe done. Yeah. And then to start joining, because I'm going to try to join according to the pattern. She has a video tutorial of how she joins it. So I'm just curious to see what the difference between the two are.
It's not going to look different visually. Okay. It's just a different type of pickup.
Perfect.
All right. And then the last thing...
Lord, that was a lot of words.
This, I think, was... I wanted to try out the hook that we bought. So I've seen this pattern on Instagram a bunch, and I really wanted to give it a try. Our niece and nephew, the twins who were born last year, their first birthday's coming up. Their party is going to be next month. So I thought it would be fun to make one of these for them. This is called Albert. It is a pretty simply constructed
I hit the microphone.
bear. And it is from Heir wool. So I found some acrylic yarn that we had in our stash, and I will say I'm not a fan of working with this yarn. That's just
good to know. Okay.
This is Mandala by Lion Brand, and this is Serpent is the colorway. But here's where I am so far with the bear. It is, a self-striping. I definitely believe I messed up. So I started stuffing it. I just have to close this up to make the ears and make sure I have enough stuffing in it. And then I need to do some arms, the nose area, and embroider on some eyes and eyebrows.
Yeah. So it's the cutest little thing.
It's going to be so cute.
Yes.
I will say
I love the self-striping that you have going on there.
This here and the connection, I probably did it 10 or more times because my stitch count was off every single time after I picked up stitches. So that took quite a while. This took me days to just get this section started.
Yeah. I think because when, I'm one to we'll just add a stitch here and just make a decrease here, and it's not a problem.
And I don't think that is a problem, but I think if you're learning to do something,
fully agree,
understanding where the mistakes are happening it's good to go back and try to figure that out and attempt again until you get it right so that you're learning correctly.
Yeah, no, right? And with this pattern, the decreases and increases are very specific.
They are.
And because that creates the shaping of this, and the beginning of round changes often, just to make sure that the shaping happens more consistently. So in this sense, I agree. I think it was right for you to stop and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know that I did all my increases and decreases properly. I think that's why mine's a little weirdly shaped. Look, so I have so it goes out here, but out a little bit down there, and then in here, but in a little bit higher, and then out, but out up there. So it's they're at different spots.
It's going to be adorable. Once you've seen that together, you certainly have the ears. Once you it really with stuff like this, and same thing with the needle felting, until you put those final touches on it, it doesn't, All right, so I, of course, copied.
So here's what the rest of it looks like. Yeah. So I have quite a bit. The reason I don't knit or crochet with acrylic often, I don't think that I really did even when I began knitting. To me, there is a different feel to some acrylics, and this one is very soft, but it doesn't slide through your fingers or on the crochet hook as easily as a superwash yarn does. So it was a struggle to go and knit in the round or crochet in the round compared to that blanket. That blanket, it's a little more free flowing for me. This yarn's a little stickier, and it was a little harder to work with and get into a flow through the entire thing for me personally.
But the end result, I think that's a good point. Like, the process of it could be uncomfortable, but the end result will probably be a nice, very, soft, whatever.
Correct.
But, yeah, I agree. Okay. I copied Kevin again because I thought it was adorable, and there are twins, so I figured, why not? I'll do one too. So I also hooked on Albert using the yarn that we got in Vermont from Round Mountain Fibers. This is Bug-Eyed Marchfly. This is the colorway. That's the skein that I picked up, thinking it was the other one. Really, really fun colorway. This is 100% superwash merino. It's about 250 yards per 100 grams DK weight. The pattern, did we say that the pattern is?
It's Albert. It doesn't say.
No, the weight of the yarn.
Because it just recommends the hook size. So a thing about the pattern, it is on Ravelry, but if you go to Ravelry, it will take you to his Etsy page to buy it from there.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. Oh, it's $4.43 euros. 4.
I thought the pattern itself is well written.
Yeah. I think the pattern was very well written. And so here's what I have so far. So the yarn made some really fun, like, pooling. I thought it was really, really cute. How it is almost like psychedelic.
Yeah.
And only in this, like, one section, which I thought was really neat. Otherwise, you have, like, these stripes.
Oh, that's happening. Because this is where your decreases started happening.
Yeah. So I finished the body. Here are the ears, like where the decreases happen, and you slip stitch all of this together. It creates this like little V thing to pop out the ears. The arms are super cute.
And you did those arms really, really quick.
Yeah.
Less than an evening of crocheting.
Yeah, I think because you end up with like 12 stitches.
Excuse me.
Around there. I did the snout here. I'm not the best at like, sewing on, but it's okay. Because here you're going to add a little bit like a black triangle and then a line down. So it'll cover some of that up. And then I marked off where the eyes were going to be. So that's where the eyes are supposed to be in the pattern. But I think I'm going to pull them out just a little bit more. Like to about there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to... Yeah, it seems farther away here. But mine is narrow. Mine looks narrower than this, but taller.
You know what it is? Is that based on the image, I feel like your nose is up too high. Like
maybe
should have just gone down like 3 or 4 rows, and then you would have had more.
I don't know, because then you have. I don't know. So I counted the rows down, which is exactly where I put my eyes, and it tells you, where to put everything. I could have put the snout down a little bit lower, but you know what? Fine. But that's the fun thing about this, and they even say in the pattern that you can put like a patch on the belly, you can put elbow patches on his little arms, kind of do whatever you want. You could do the snout in a different color if you want to. So I'm just waiting for the black yarn. I just have to grab it. I didn't have it downstairs. So I'm just going to add embroider eyes, the nose, and the eyebrows. And then this guy will be all done. But there he is. Hello. He's very cute. Very squishy.
Yeah, like, here's some on Ravelry. So it is a really fun...
Yeah.
Pattern. It does work up.
Oh, look, that one did a bow tie.
Yeah, I think it works up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So
it did. It worked up really quickly. And we were saying,
what size hook did you say? You're using a G, which is a 4mm.
Yeah. I'm a tighter crocheter, I think.
I'm using a...
But remember, the gauge is a little different on
Yeah,
those.
I'm using a D or a 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what millimeter that is, though.
And I'm using these are my favorite hooks, although the interchangeable ones are very wonderful, and they're a preference for me too, I guess. So the Clover Amour is my go-to hook. They're very comfortable for me, and this is a like Kevin said, it's a G hook, 4mm, and that's that.
Okay, yeah. And that is all of our knits. And
hold on,
crochets.
I have 4 more things to show. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Nope. So before we'll jump into some yarn dyeing.
Okay. I'm going to fold this up so I don't...
I've added a bunch of yarn
you've been
to the website.
You've been
and
busy.
If you don't know, our website is needlesattheready.com. So this has been a fun kind of couple of weeks for dyeing. So I'm going to go over some stuff that you guys have seen that hasn't changed. So I've added some frozen hot cocoa. So you have some
this is
blue,
one of my favorite colorways.
Whites, brown, and a really light silver. It's probably going to be really hard to see. It's in here. So that's frozen hot cocoa. Oh, everything I'm showing is on the 75-25 fingering base. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So frozen hot cocoa. Then I did some Monster Jus.
It's another favorite of mine.
So a couple different shades of green in here. Some blues. I did Fire Pit, which I love this one.
Me too. We're at that season. We can sit outside.
Yeah, I did some rhubarb. And fancy flannel. Which again, this is one of my faves.
What did I just do in fancy flannel? A hat?
I think so. I think you did a sock head, a modified sock head.
Yeah.
This is bejeweled. This one has... I don't see it here, but there is some areas of, so you got pinks, you got some yellows, which are speckled, some blues and greens, some white, and I don't know, when I was scanning it up, it reminded me of the game Bejeweled.
Yeah.
So that's where it got its name from. And then let's go some Dreamcatcher.
This is stunning.
Which you did your petite knits.
The scarf.
Sophie
scarf
out of.
Yeah.
So this is just a lightly dyed with a gray and some fun speckles.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun the way that powder breaks in the water because you get some weird, not weird, but it gives you a brown in a golden brown in liquid form, but when you speckle it, it breaks into some reds and blues.
You know, it would be a neat idea to update your pictures with the actual project and this skein of yarn.
Well, what I would
people can see.
Like to do is once we have tubes cranked.
I have tubes on a lot. I have tubes
that I'll take pictures of that.
Yeah,
so this is
I have a tube on
Dreamcatcher, and then this one it's just a little crush.
This is super cute.
So some pinks and purples with some speckles on it.
It's just.
And now, these two, this one's new. This one is called Blazing Sunset. So it has some oranges, yellows, reds, and some magenta.
Wow.
In it.
That's incredible.
Thanks. This was fun one. I was just messing around one day and had fun doing this one. So Blazing Sunset. And the next two, these are fun because these are redos. So, the first one I'm going to show, when I initially dyed it, and it could be one of the first, we'll say, colorways that I sold when we had Etsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I first started dyeing, as many dyers would, is I worked straight from the dye powder. I wasn't mixing a lot of colors together or dye powders together to come up with new colors. I was kind of just using them the powder straight out of the jar.
Yeah.
So this one, when I dyed it initially, I used a dye powder called Silver Gray from Dharma, and I haven't dyed it in who knows how long. So I was like, all right, let's rework it. And I used my formula for, I gotta look because I don't remember which one it is. One of the new grays, the lighter of the grays, which was like Midnight Mist or Moonlight something. So let's see. Did I not put that one on the website?
You guys hear Skylar whistling up?
Oh, Silver Moonlight. So I used the recipe for Silver Moonlight, and then I just kept the same speckles that I used originally. It's actually the first colorway written in my dye notebook from when I began. So this is the new version of Mossy Cobblestone.
It's so good.
And it was named that because it reminded me of the Minecraft block called Mossy Cobblestone. So it's a nice tonal-y gray. It's more tonal than the actual skein is.
Yeah.
And it has some green and gray and black speckles in it. And some darker spots. So
it's so good.
And then
that would make a beautiful sweater.
Is the new version of Ocean Jasper. So Ocean Jasper, one of the dye powders that I used changed, and I just could never get it right. So, and it was another colorway where I was using the dye powder right out of the jar. So instead, I went through, reworked it, did some new color mixes.
It's even better than the original.
This is the new version of Ocean Jasper.
I love it.
So you have some blues and greens and whites. Like you get browns and gold in here. You even get some darker greens down there, some darker green bits. So I was really, really happy with the way that this turned out. And I think the only other thing that I have, it's drying, is I did some more of Iron Mountain. Mm-hmm. And there will be another new colorway that's drying. I just have to come up with a name for it. And that's... So all of that's
really great.
Currently on the website.
So it's all on the website.
Yeah.
Great. I'm really excited.
And then thank you.
I think it was really smart to like redo some of those colorways that you did, and then because you've been doing this now how long? 3 years?
Well, you bought me the first kit. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe 2021. Yeah, maybe. I would say 2021. So yeah. And I have an old notebook where I took horrible notes. Sometimes great, sometimes really bad. So I've just been going through it and looking at it and trying to figure out what I would like to play with again, but change. So there are some that I can't. Like I won't change Rhubarb, and I won't change... No, I do want to change Dirty Ballerina.
You haven't done that in years.
I haven't done it in a long time because I'm a different dyer now than I was when I dyed that. So I would love to find...
People love that one. That was such a fun one.
It was... I don't know. Maybe because it was just so... It's really simple for me to do now.
Yeah, but sometimes simple is just...
And it's just
great.
I don't know.
It looked like Dirty Ballerina shoes. Like it was exactly...
We'll see. Maybe I'll do it.
And the name is fantastic.
But yeah, I'm going to go through that notebook and continue, because ideally I would like to get rid of that notebook and not have it kind of looming over my head of all these past notes, because I have a much different record keeping system of my patterns now.
Well, you were playing around too at that time, so it was different.
Yes, I was just playing around. It wasn't something serious. So I do want to, I've been ripping out pages as I've no, I'm not going to do this again. Or I have no idea what I did. So I would like to continue to do that. But it has been fun to revisit those and reimagine them.
Well, that's great.
So that is all of that. And as we said, there's no owl post. There's no break in the bank.
No.
So that is all of the knitting content.
Woohoo!
All right. So we're going to talk
Well.
about a pattern real quick. Because I am half debating making it. And I have no business, again, talking about anything new. But guys.
I know. This one's cute.
Like, I'm kind of thinking, is it a Rhinebeck or is it a flock?
Oh, because it might be holy.
It is holy.
Maybe just wear that, no shirt underneath.
You're a jerk. But maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
So I am kind of debating, because I'm in my crochet era now.
I want to do it now, Kevin. Let's do it. Let's make some flock sweaters.
I kind of want to do this for flock. So this is the Jethro by Tennis Lavely. I was able to jump on the Grocery Girls podcast this past week when they were live. And Jody showed 2 samples of these. And it's knit. It's mainly crocheted, but it's also knit. So part of me is really,
What weight yarn is it?
DK.
But like wear a tank top underneath that or something and some shorts? That would look... What?
I'm kind of...
Let's do it. No, it's done. We're doing it.
I will only do it if other people we're going to flock with will do it. So, guys, should we do this for flock?
Oh, let's do it.
I would like to see... All right, so I will say, I would definitely think about making it longer.
I wouldn't.
And I also think... Yeah, I would probably go a little bit longer. Just one more square at the bottom. One more round of squares at the bottom. So there's literally no shaping. It is a drop shoulder design. So you knit however many granny squares and attach them. Then you pick up stitches and you knit the button band and you knit the sleeves.
Yes.
So I think it would be kind of cool. We'll see. All right. Reading and watching.
Reading and watching.
So we have watched a lot, and we're not going to go over everything because we didn't talk about this last week or last episode because we were so long. But a couple things that we would like to... Okay, so that's on there. Perfect. So we've watched Dune Part 2, finally. Loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
I think those 2 movies combined are really great at really capturing the book. The essence of the book.
I never read the book, but it's
been a long time.
Yeah, we watched the first one and then the second one right when it came out, and like it was really nice to watch them back to back.
We've also are watching Star Trek Picard.
Yes.
So we're on season 3. We have 1 episode left and then we're done with that.
I know.
So
we'll finish
do
that
that
tonight.
This weekend. I've been watching 911. I just started season...
You've been obsessed with this show.
4 last night. Those episodes that I watched, man. So if you are a fan of that show, I got to the episode where Maddie told Buck their family secret, and that was really sad.
Oh. I came home from work yesterday and came upstairs to change, and Kevin's in here because this is where we have his office kind of set up over there, like where we package the yarn and everything. And he was like scanning up his yarn. So I started talking to him like, hey, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. And I got like nothing. And then he turned around and he was like, hold on. And then he went to the computer and he was watching 911 on the computer with the Apple AirPods. And I was like, wow, technology.
Yeah. Well, I scan up yarn and
Which is
label it
nice.
and all that stuff. So,
but you're obsessed with that show.
We also watched Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. So it was. I like DC animated movies.
Yeah,
that one was just okay to me.
I felt the same. We actually didn't talk about this, did we?
No, I also think was I crocheting? Because that could be a bit. I don't know that I was.
I don't know if that you were.
I will watch it again when Part 2 comes out because I feel like it needs to. I feel like you need to watch both back to back.
Maybe. It was kind of all over the place.
It was. It was just all right.
Yeah.
The other thing that we watched, which adored, loved, want to see it again. And
Surprise of the season.
Want another season
Home run.
Immediately.
Same.
On Netflix, Dead Boy Detectives. Loved it.
Loved it.
Every character. I loved every character in that show.
Too.
I adore it.
It was adorable.
It was fantastic. It was so good. It is in the same universe as The Sandman, which is the television show. It's based on Neil Gaiman graphic novels.
Yes.
So these characters in Dead Boy Detectives are in that same universe.
It's great. I mean, the premise of the show is that you have these two dead boys, ghosts. It's not morbid, I promise.
Yes.
Who like help solve supernatural crimes, and nobody can see them except those who are like psychic or have come close to death themselves or whatever. So it's funny. The two main characters have such great chemistry together. They're like best friends. There's such great chemistry. They play off each other very, very well. The supporting cast is so good too. Like they could all have their own standalone shows. I thought it was fantastic. I got sucked right in immediately.
And if you've watched it, please tell me. So we were watching it, and it's really fun when you're watching something to try to figure out what somebody may remind you of. Mm-hmm. So the butcher lady totally reminds me of like a more emo version of Flo from the Progressive commercials. So if any of you saw that, please comment below and let me know that you did.
Highly recommend if you're looking for something to watch. There are 10 episodes maybe?
Somewhere around there.
They go by super fast. I highly recommend if you're looking for like a new series to just kind of binge on.
And there was another character in the show who reminded me of a really mean version of Karen Walker from Will and Grace.
Who?
The witch.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, she did.
Right?
Yeah, we didn't talk. That's great.
She reminds me of Karen Walker.
One of my favorite characters was only on for a couple of episodes, and I loved him very much. Monty was like my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Monty reminds me of somebody from another movie.
He reminds me of somebody, too.
And I couldn't
honestly, guys,
watch it.
Watch it.
If you like supernatural shows, definitely give that one a shot.
It was perfect.
All right, so that's
what we've been watching.
And then reading, I'll go real quick. I finished book 2 in the Mistborn trilogy.
Yep.
So it is called The Well of Ascension. I will say I'm enjoying these. I think these books are fantastic. They are very long, though. It takes me a long time to get through them. I had to take a break midway-ish through this book and read something else, and let me see what that was. Oh, I know what that was, and it was, if it's what I'm thinking, it was trash. Not trash, it just really wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
I read this book, and I don't know what I was thinking. It has 21 books in the series. It is called the Kurtherian Gambit series, and I read book 1, Death Becomes Her, and this book
that was a good movie.
I'm very, very surprised because the book has over 8,000 reviews.
Really?
And has 4.5 stars. It was really hard for me to get through. Number 1.
Is this the alien thing?
Yeah, the main character's name, her name's Bethany Ann. And I just had a struggle reading that all the time because they say her name so often. So I just cut it short. She was Bethany for me. And it is a very interesting take on vampires.
They took a lot of creative license there.
They're alien born?
Did you just ruin it?
No, it says it somewhere.
Oh,
they're not made like your typical vampire. No, that's a lie. They are, but they're not. Like the first one is technically alien born. The rest are made the way that we know, but it's different, and this whole world's a mess. The chapters were very disjointed, and sometimes I didn't know whose point of view I was reading from. I had to stop for a minute and go back and read to really figure out whose point of view I was reading from now, because there was like maybe 6 or 7 people's point of views that we were reading at, and sometimes it changes it changes mid-chapter. Okay. And there's no, like, break. And here we are. It's just, we change. So I will not be reading the other 20 books in that series. And then after I finished The Well of Ascension, I moved on to another male romance series that I've read one book for in the past. So I read the second book. It is called The Gift. Oh.
Doing some yard work outside. Hopefully you can't hear that.
Let's see. So this is the Love and O'Leary book series. I read book 2, which is called The Gift. It's by May Archer. I adored this book and the two main characters, Julian and what was his? Daniel. Let's see, spice level. I would say we definitely went past black pepper and smoked paprika.
Whoa, I love this.
We're probably somewhere between like cayenne and maybe like some ancho chilies. So
okay,
if you don't like spice, don't read it. But
great.
These books all take place in a small town in upstate New York. Julian is a writer who needed to get away from his life in Manhattan and is up in this small town. I forgot their names. Oh, O'Leary. O'Leary. And he's on a hike one day, finds an owl, a little baby owlet that's being attacked by crows, scares them off, and brings it to the local vet where he meets Julian.
Of course he does.
It's like a Hallmark movie, but sometimes it's appearing on Cinemax at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday.
Skinemax.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just adored the two of them. They really just start as friends, and then it ends up being like, we have to pretend that you're my boyfriend because of my Julian opens up his big mouth and tells a lie. And then you see where the rest of it goes.
So their whole relationship is based on the lie.
Absolutely. But not
That'll
really. When they actually sit down and talk about their relationship, you find out it kind of really isn't. But it was great. And I'm currently reading book 3 in the series, which is called The Secret. And this one of the main characters is Julian's middle brother, Constantine. And which there was no indication that he liked men in the book that I just finished, but I knew that there was no indication. It wasn't said, but I had a feeling. So when I saw that this book had Constantine in it, I wanted to continue reading because I know I would still see some of the characters from the previous 2 books.
Right. I mean, look at the Green Creek series. Every single character ended up being gay at some point.
Where are these towns? It's really funny. There was that series that I read that took place in Texas. And it felt like out of a town of 100, 50% were somewhere in the queer spectrum.
Yeah.
Something different in that water in these towns, I'm telling you.
Maybe. Good for them.
Yeah.
They're more in tune with themselves.
So that's my reading.
Great. Mine have really just been 2 things. I finished book 3 of the Throne of Glass series. That was Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm currently reading book 4 called Queen of Shadows.
How many books are in this series?
I think 7.
Oh.
I'm really into it a lot. And like as it progresses, and I think I said this last time, or I talked to somebody about it. It was a slow start. The first 2 books were pretty slow. Nothing really major happened. You don't find out anything special. I think I said this, that was like halfway through book 3. Or maybe at the end of book 2.
It was book 3. Right? It was in the last 20% of the book.
Where it finally was like, oh, now here we go. Finally, we hear about magic or see magic and whatever. So book 3... like I said, book 3 was really great. That's when it started like really ramping up. Book 4 has been wonderful. Lot of crazy things have been kind of falling into place. There was a lot of moving between storylines and following different characters. They finally, last night when I read, everything clashed together. They were all 3 major storylines converged into one like scene. And then it started breaking. Then it broke apart again, and now we're reading each person's perspective again. But I like it works now. It doesn't feel cumbersome. Like, where are we going, guys? You know, just when you get into something, you're moving on to something else. Book 4 has been wonderful. I can't wait to read again tonight. I like the main character. She's an assassin. We find out some things about her. I don't want to spoil anything in the series, but if you're reading it, get through the first 2 books. And then things will start making sense for you. And then I just finished yesterday on my way home from work the audiobook that I've been listening to, He Who Fights Monsters, book 1 by Shirtaloon. It was wonderful. Like, I cannot express to you all. I gave it 5 stars. It's like, for me, like Kevin and I think we talked about this. We loved playing video games, and MMOs, like those multi-player online games, were our total jam. We played World of Warcraft. We did like Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars Galaxies, DC Universe. There was the other
Guild Wars
Heroes game, City of Heroes.
Oh,
that was
City of
amazing.
Heroes.
Anyway, we have a lot of experience with those MMOs, always part of a guild and leveling up your characters. Loved every minute of it.
And not Knights of the Old Republics? Well, yeah, Star Wars Galaxies.
Star Wars Galaxies was... So our most hours spent in video games, I think, was City of Heroes, Star Wars Galaxies, and World of Warcraft. We tried every
Absolutely.
one. You know, of course. But those were our 3 major
remember the
ones.
Matrix one?
Yeah, I do remember that. We did like the beta or something like that. It was really weird.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so the point is, this book, basically your main character is like sucked into one of these like MMOs. No idea how he ended up there. He ends up with like no hair on his body, completely naked in the middle of a desert, and he somehow has access to like an inventory screen and a world map and like a leveling system. And at first it started describing like his like racial, they call him like your racial abilities. In most video games, if you're a human, you have like, say you know, good at stealth or plus 10 yeah, whatever it is. So they started listing those things. I'm like, oh god, are they going to do this for every little like new spell he gets or whatever? And yes, the answer is yes, but it's not a problem. I thought it was going to be a problem. It was great. He's leveling up, he's meeting some friends, he's going to learn how to like cook and craft and like level up what he's got to focus on. It kind of reminds me a little bit, and I meant to tell you this, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Gratitude.
Okay.
Lyndon.
Yeah.
What the heck was that series name?
Oh, stop for a second. Crap.
I know.
Book 1 is called... All right, so we have Ghostwater as a book.
Yeah. It was the... Unsold.
Series by Will White.
Yes. Woo. Good. Because you know he's...
Do you have to do that too? Do you have to close your eyes
sometimes
to like get
there? I have to look away. I don't know what it is. I have to like look away.
It's almost like I have to take all other distractions out so that I can process things.
You pointed at me twice, like I'm a distraction in your life. We really do like each other.
No.
Anyway, so in that series, like you go from copper to like, you know, monarch and like whatever. So he's starting.
You went from copper to monarch. And there were like 10 things in between.
There were a lot of things in between, but that's kind of how this one is. So you start at like a iron level, yeah, and then you level up your spells, iron level 1, 2, 3, like whatever, and then you get to bronze and you know
so
whatnot.
on and so forth.
So now he ran into a gold level character. Just interesting. I don't know. I highly recommend.
Did he Leroy Jenkins them?
No, he didn't Leroy Jenkins them. No, but you know, maybe in the next book. Okay. There's like 11 books in this series. Okay. And I will be listening to all of them. This will be my next obsession. I just love it. The narrator's wonderful. He's Australian, so I love that accent. And I think that's all I have to say about that. 2 thumbs up. I gave it 5 stars. I would have given it 6 if that was an option.
All right, cool. And I think that's it. So
this wasn't a very short episode.
It was shorter than last time's. It's under 2 hours. I think that's a good thing.
It's a win-win.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't know if it's going to be that Saturday because we have plans that Saturday. That's the next one's Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. So we have plans that Saturday. We also have plans that Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So it most likely will be, but it may be a day late. It may be a Sunday instead.
Yeah.
We should probably do Saturday.
Let's just do Saturday.
We could be hungover on Sunday. Sorry.
Hungover? Where are we going on Saturday?
Your brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going today to a local craft fair in the...
Next town over
in the center of town, the Green. That should be fun. Go on.
And then you know what we're going to have on the next podcast? We'll both have something new.
We will.
So you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I will have yarn and hopefully a swatch too. So, okay.
All right. So
let's wrap it up,
folks. So thank you for sticking around.
Yes. If you haven't already joined our little knit along, it is not too late to do the clockwork shawl.
Just 2 skeins of finger and weight yarn.
Yes. And I know, we didn't say it in the beginning, but as always, we really, really appreciate all of you. And I don't know I think we did say welcome to the new viewers and all of that, but it's really, when we see these comments that come through and we get a chance to meet you in real life and see the emails, it's honest to God, one of our favorite things ever. And so we just can't thank you enough for the community that you're bringing. And for all of those mothers out there, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. But really happy Mother's Day always, because we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you, and I love you all.
And on that note, we will see you guys, or we hope you guys have a good 2 weeks, and we will see you in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.